I was listening to Tony Robbins speak recently. It was on a podcast, and I'm just grabbing a real tiny section, so it's not to reference the whole podcast. And he talked about the idea of conditioning and conditions, and I think it's a really good word. I think it's a word that just resonates on two levels. We talk about the environment quite a lot, and I do that all the time. Talk about the environment as in the working environment, if we're talking in a work context, and how important that is on one's state and one's being. But actually the word conditions is nice because it talks about, well, what condition are you in as well? So the conditions influence your condition. So you're just taking out the S at the end. So it's just a nice way to think about it. It's just going to resonate a bit closer to what you really want in terms of performing well. Is think about those conditions and your conditioning and what condition you're in. Talk a lot in mountaineering to say, what are the conditions? And it's a really it's got a bit more focus rather than say what's it like today. You wouldn't say what's the environment like when you're at the bottom of a mountain. But you see it in a lot in sports and skiing as well. What are the conditions like today? Because those conditions that might be physical in that sense and influence your condition. And of course you want to condition yourself and conditioning. So it's just a word that just kind of just chops and plays around, is really good with interplay, very interchangeable, which can be pretty tricky in some way. Dilute it. But it's just a bit more tailored to think about that idea of conditioning versus maybe engineering or developing or the environment around you. So yeah, just wanted to throw in, think about a little bit more conditions, conditioning, and the condition itself and your condition.